Welcome back to another episode of 6 and 6, where we cover 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. With that said, start your timer. First to South America, where a rare solar eclipse was visible in the south of the continent. The totality of the eclipse, the place where the sun is most covered, passed over Chile and Argentina. From BBC, quote, Wednesday's eclipse and ring of fire will first be seen on the remote Easter island in the Pacific at 14:08 local time. It will then be seen on the southwest coast of mainland Chile at 17:20 local time before moving east into Argentina shortly afterwards. Those in the Falkland Islands will experience a partial solar eclipse of around 80 to 85%. This was also special because it was an annular eclipse, meaning that the moon was the furthest away from the Earth that it could be, leaving more of the sun exposed and visible, creating that quote-unquote ring of fire effect. Next, we cross the Atlantic to Africa, where a migrant boat has been emptied by the smugglers on board, leaving hundreds still missing and 45 dead. From Reuters, quote, another 154 people had been rescued from the 2 boats, which left Yemen for Djibouti with a total of 310 passengers. IOM said in a statement. Quote, ongoing search and rescue operations are underway by the Djibouti Coast Guard to locate the missing migrants, it said. Every year, hundreds of thousands of people leave the Horn of Africa in pursuit of better economic prospects in Gulf nations via the so-called Eastern Route, end quote. Though many of these migrants have been trapped in the countries that they have fought so hard to get to, one example being Yemen, where there is still an ongoing civil war. Next, we look to North America. FIFA has announced the stadiums that will play host to the Cup World Cup when they come to the United States next summer. From BBC, quote, matches will be played across the U.S. with the final to take place at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, 5 miles from New York City. The other venues are Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta, TQL Stadium, Cincinnati, Hard Rock Stadium, Miami, Getos Park, Nashville, Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, Camping World Stadium, Orlando, Inter & Co Stadium, Orlando, Rose Bowl Stadium, Los Angeles, Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia, Lumen Field, Seattle, and Audi Field, D.C. Chelsea, Manchester City, and Real Madrid have automatically qualified for Europe, as they are the most recent winners of the Champions League in the last 4-year cycle. This competition is going to involve 32 teams from around the world, including 12 from Asia, 6 from South America, and the rest to be filled out by Africa and North America. Across the Pacific in Japan, after years of proposed plans of expanding EV production in North America, Toyota has pushed back its timeline. From Reuters, quote, Toyota Motor will postpone the start of electric vehicle production in North America to the first half of 2026 due to design adjustments and slowing EV sales, the Nikkei Business Daily reported on Thursday. The Japanese automaker recently told suppliers that the start date for production of its first EV model at its factory in the U.S. state of Kentucky, the 3-row SUV, will be delayed by several months, the Nikkei said. And that's the end of the quote, but there is more. The delays are said to be happening because of supply chain issues. They have also postponed their plans to produce Lexuses in North America, opting rather to ship them from Japan. Now to New Zealand, where a new type of ghost shark has been found off the shores of the country. From BBC, quote, also known as a spokefish or chimera, ghost sharks are closely related to sharks and rays. They do not have scales, and their skeletons are made completely of cartilage. Dr. Britt Finucci, one of the scientists who discovered the Australian narrow-nosed spookfish, said the find was exciting. Quote, their habits make them hard to study and monitor, meaning we don't know a lot about their biology or threat status, she said. Another reason the discovery is exciting is that they are often residing in the deeper parts of the ocean. This has provided a small glimpse into the yet fully explored regions of our deepest oceans. In Europe, the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has spoken out about Russia's support of China in an ongoing campaign to, quote, reunify with Taiwan. From Reuters, quote, the United States and its satellites deliberately stir up the situation in the Strait of Taiwan, Lavrov wrote, in violation of the One China principle that they recognize. They are strengthening ties with the island's administration. Russia's position on Taiwan issue has been unchanged support for China's territorial integrity expressed at different levels, including at the very top, he said, end quote. China has also been a stalwart defender of Russia in its invasion into Ukraine, blaming the conflict on NATO aggression. And if you want to read any of these stories, all the links will be provided in the description down there below the like and subscribe button. If you want to check out this on the RSS feed or the YouTube, you can also find the links there. And if you want to listen to the normal podcast that comes out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can also go to the RSS feed on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Podvine, or the YouTube channel. And if you want to hear the Twitter tirade off the top of the dome kind of thinking, just randomly saying things and playing out some ideas that I've thought about throughout the course of my reading, my time just being on this earth. That is over at the Twitter handle at Your Daily Flip, and that's posted at the same time every Tuesday and Thursday over there. So, with all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe, don't die.